Hey there, baseball fans. Welcome to another episode of our eMLB Top 10 right now. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about left fielders as we continue our way through the defensive spectrum on the diamond. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and comment too what you liked, what you didn't like. Who do you think we missed on? What's to come? Feel free. And if you want to see something on this channel, put that in the comments as well. We'd love to hear from you. Also on the Discord. That's another place where you can hit us up and tell us how you think we did. All right, let's get right to it. Our number 10 left fielder in the eMLB right now is, as of the time of this recording, teamless. But I imagine by the time we get this out, he may have found a home. And it is Walker Smith. We like this profile at Backfields Media. The scouting department thinks he's a plus hitter, really good. The only piece of his hitting that's not above average is his power. And yet it's close enough where he can still be counted on for 15 to 20 homers a year. He just picked a really bad time to fall off on a free agent year. He was down across the board. His homers improved over the last couple of years, but he's finally started to hit his stride a little bit in Baltimore with the homers. But the average way off on the doubles. He's usually good for 50 doubles. So he struggled a little bit. But again, he's a really good candidate for a bounce back. Speed and his ability on the base paths is average. His aggressiveness kind of outstrips that, although he clearly had a stop sign up during his career in Baltimore. He was not running like he did earlier in his career in Colorado. The defense is good. He's a plus defender in left. Has a good overall profile. Not really bad at anything that, I mean, if you want to get picky, he doesn't bunt very well, but not really a thing that you look for in eMLB. Some interesting things from his splits. He struggled a little bit in high leverage situations. His OPS fell off to 530. The month of August was good for him. However, he had an OPS of 128. Who does he compare to? Former Texas Ranger Frank Catalanato. And in age, and I really like this comp, he looks to be like an Alex Gordon at this point in his career, and I see it. Everything screams Alex Gordon here for me. He's kind of popular with a couple of these comps that we're going to see here in left field. But Walker Smith is our number 10 left fielder in eMLB right now. Let's go to number 9. And our number 9 left fielder is brand new Kansas City Royal Derek Besko. Besko spent the last several years in Tampa, did really well, had a very nice season this year. 295, 304, 477. He's not going to get a lot of walks, as you can see, but is a really good hitter. If you look at the ratings, you're like, kind of an average guy. A couple of things are slightly above average, but he is proof that a really good work ethic matters a lot in OOTP. He's a perfect example of it, in fact. Got more out of his abilities than you would have expected. Guy makes $3 million a year. He's a 2-WAR player, more than worth the value. Has an aggressive approach that the scouts like. Defensively, definitely good corner outfield type stuff. He struggles in the late innings, but at home, he's really good. Had a 541 slugging percentage at home and hit 330. So, he saves it for the home fans, definitely. He's really dialed in. I like the comparisons here with him, too. He compared to Pedro Munoz, who was a up-and-coming player in the 90s for the Twins, and also compares to current eMLBer Jim Stone. He was traded to Kansas City by the Rays for Cody Hewer and Carson Williams. So we'll see in a couple of years whether this trade panned out for them or not. But right now, Kansas City kind of gets the best of this deal with Besco being able to play right away. And hey, he's one of the top 10 left fielders in baseball. So we'll look forward to seeing how he progresses in future years. Let's go with our number 8 left fielder right now in eMLB, and that is world champion Dalen Lyle. Now, he may be gone from St. Louis by the time this drops, so, bear with us there. But Lyle had a really decent season, slightly off his career numbers, but overall not bad. 261, 348, 360. Had a WRC plus of 100, so he's right at average for left fielders. But what kind of elevated his game above that for us in terms of top 10, his abilities on the base paths, his ability to steal, 31 out of 32. Was only caught stealing once. Phenomenal left fielder. Not quite elite in terms of overall in left, but certainly his error rating is not going to drop many balls there. Not going to hit a lot of homers. In fact, they only hit 3 this past season, and that's okay because, he had 25 doubles. He's been a part-time player, and he's been good at that, but I found it interesting. The Cardinals used him hitting second, really did very well further down in the lineup. When he hit 7th, he had a 148 OPS. So this isn't an easy out down at the bottom of the order. Compared, interestingly enough, to current eMLBer Matt Watson, as well as Robbie Grossman. He's already retired in eMLB. Does fit that profile very well. Kind of a base hit and run, kind of causing havoc on the base paths. By age, this name popped up again, Bruce Bochy, who was a Mariners outfielder in the early days of the Mariners franchise. Dalen Lyle is our number 8 left fielder right now, and be curious to see if he can get somewhere where he can play every day, if these numbers can go further up. All right, let's see who is our number 7 left fielder right now, and that is Milwaukee Brewers batter Danny Bradford. Bradford's not here to win batting titles. It is his plus ability with the power bat that make him a good player. His elite base running and stealing ability kind of bump him up even more. Was not my first thought when I realized that this guy is a 30-30 candidate right now. And as the steal has returned to eMLB, we're seeing a lot of guys, and especially on this list, who've had just a handful of steals over the last few years, and now they're in like double digits, in the 20s. Adds a real component to their game and gives extra value that they may not have had before. As for Bradford, though, it's 30-plus homers every year. He hit 12 homers hitting third, but was more productive in the cleanup spot, had a 141 OPS hitting in the cleanup spot. He compares extremely well to Richard Hidalgo, old Astros player, and Glenn Allen Hill as a left fielder. And comparison for age, at age 27, very close to former White Sox slugger Carlos Lee. Danny Bradford, he's only 27. I'd be curious to see as he gets older and the power and the eye start to increase as players tend to do as they get older, just how much more valuable he is going to become. He will be in Milwaukee through at least 2032 by contract. So we'll see what they do with him as he continues. He's our number 7 left fielder in eMLB right now. We're moving on to number 6, and left fielder Joe Moody played his first 100 major league games this past season and was phenomenal. 261, 311 with a 520 slugging percentage. He had 28 homers in 100 games, 127 WRC plus. He's a power specialist. He is here to hit home run balls. And Backfield's media expects him to improve his contact significantly. We peg him in the future as being a 300 average hitter, 30-plus homers, 35, maybe even 40 homers on a regular basis. That kind of profile in New York, he's going to be famous, in demand. He's going to rocket up this list is what I'm trying to say here. One of the interesting things that came out of his batting splits, if you get an 0-1 count on him, you're not ahead. He hit 406 on 0-1 counts. And so getting ahead early is not the answer at all. Compares extremely well to a CCP, Josh Exley, rather. And also his age 24 season comps very well with Jose Cruz Jr. You think about it, a little light when the batting average, but hit a lot of home runs, kind of got some attention there. Moody is a player to watch, though. We really like him. If we were dealing with potential and what he could be, he'd be a lot higher on the list. He's the 25th prospect in eMLB right now, probably going to fall off when the new season list drops. But he is definitely one to watch. Joe Moody. All right. We're to our number 5 left fielder in baseball right now, and that is the only CCP who made our list, Dominic Aguilera. Portland signed him to a huge contract. He has paid off. He's been productive, and he also has drawn a crowd. He's not the slugger, just good average, great fundamentals, exceptional defense, great running ability. 18 homers, 31 steals, 31 doubles. He's an impressive ball player. And will continue to be getting a lot of hits. There's nothing about he's got all the tools. Depending on how you characterize it, you could call this guy a five tool player. What we like is that even though he is, crossed over the peak in terms of age, he's definitely keeping up a lot of these younger skills. He still can run, still great fielding. He's a good hitter. He's got several years left, no doubt. We think he's going to do very well. One of the cool things about his batting splits in Portland, playing at home, he hit 332 and slugged 500. So he liked the confines there in Portland, had a 145 OPS plus. He is another player who compared to Alex Gordon very well. And interestingly enough, his age 30 season compares to Rusty Staub, who was a famous Met and Expos player. If you were watching baseball in the 70s, you know who I'm talking about there. Dominic Aguilera is our number 5 left fielder in eMLB right now. Let's move on to number 4. He is the fastest man in this list, probably the quintessential base runner in eMLB, and that's Jackie Roberts. Roberts has all the skills. Some scouts on our team wonder if he didn't peak in 2029 in terms of with the bat. As far as for average, some may have thought that he was going to develop into more of a well-rounded, 300 hitter with 30 doubles and 30 homers. Fell back a bit in batting average, but was still highly productive. 25 homers, 40 steals. It's a great player. And you can see he's elite in all areas of speed. That helps him a bit. He does not have natural skill in terms of the defense. You would think somebody with this kind of speed would have a much higher range. He's just more of a hit and run type guy. The defense doesn't come easy. He can hold his own, but it's he's still nothing to sneeze at. After all, he is our number 4 player here. He made contact on 88 first pitches to him this year. Hit 349 with a 145 OPS. So he's going up. He's aggressive. He's looking to hit. He's going to hit it to all fields. His comps are kind of surprising to me. Josh Willingham and Dylan Cousins are his overall best comps. And for his age 28 season, Reggie Jackson. And I was like, there's nothing Reggie Jackson about this. So I went back and looked at Reggie's profile. And actually, in his mid-late 20s, he was stealing a lot of bases. Home runs were kind of a little depressed. This was Reggie's profile. Maybe not the 100 in steals like we see here, but pretty close. I mean, if you're comping that to Reggie Jackson, you're a great player. The Cubs have one here in Jackie Roberts. He's the number 4 left fielder in eMLB. We're moving on to our top 3, and our number 3 left fielder is also a rookie, Ted Boyd, Montreal Expos. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Jack Lawless in San Diego. Spoiler alert, you may be seeing him when we talk about second baseman. Tremendous profile. Doesn't have the greatest eye, but also he's only 23 years old. But he can hit. He can hit with authority. I really like I'm excited to see what he is going to become. I feel like he is going to be hitting well above 300 with a lot of doubles, a lot of homers. I see his power being able to develop where he could quite possibly hit 35 homers by the time he's reached his peak. Tremendous ball player, had a 118 OPS plus for the year. Great arm. Wondering if he might not end up becoming a right fielder as he grows into his skill. He's got a little bit of work to do, obviously, right now, but could be a left fielder. Struggled in the late innings. You think about having to face fresh arms from the bullpen and not really being familiar with those bullpen arms. So that makes sense. But he wasn't an automatic out. He still ended up with 9 homers and 25 RBIs in the late innings after the 7th inning. Also struggled a little bit with high leverage. So we will see as he matures and gets another time around the league how that's going to impact him. A lot of his comps were one-hit wonders, like Dan Lipsky, Angel Echevarria. His age he compared to Billy Conigliaro and looked at what Billy did in his age 23 season, and I see it. Was a young up and coming star. So Ted Boyd, hey, stay away from older women, Ted. You'll be just fine. He is our number 3 left fielder right now in the eMLB. Number 2, I debated about this for a long time, and we'll get into this as we talk about our top 2. Our number 2 is Mike Trout. Mike Trout, you see that profile there behind him. He looks like a South American dictator with all the medals on his chest. At this point, he is swinging for the fences, trying to hit it out of the park. Just a phenomenal career. At some point, if he just duplicates what he did in 2030, he will surpass Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, be the all-time home run leader in baseball. And it is well deserved. But, I mean, this is a guy with a 5.2 WAR at age 39. He stole 26 bases at age 39. It is the most steals that he has had in the eMLB 2.0 era, is what he did last year. So even though he's the last few years, he has not hit for average at all, but the power numbers have been consistent. They're starting to diminish. I mean, he is 39 after all, but he is hitting with power. I'm hoping it will last. Some things here. He compares to names that everybody knows, not just baseball fans. Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds. But those comparisons are only like 80%. So we're talking about a guy who is he's a one of one. When you look at comparisons by age, almost all the way down the page is Mickey Mantle. And that really, I see that. I can't argue with that. He is our generation's Mickey Mantle, a tremendous player, has won just about everything you can win. And as June turns to July, we're going to start cutting into games to see whether or not Trout made it. He'll be one of the destination spots in the file to see him get closer and get the all-time home run lead. He is our number 2 left fielder in baseball right now. And that means that number 1 had to be pretty special. And again, I debated about this, but number 1 from the AL champion Chicago White Sox, Julio Rodriguez. Definition of five-tool player. Just incredible. 294, 362, 528 slash line. He's at age 22. He is already, if you want to get picky, he doesn't always make contact. But when he does, it's always with authority. Lots of line drives, puts the ball everywhere. He's not a pull hitter. And he can hit it to the gap. He can hit it deep. Elite level defense already in left. He's a plus speed guy. There's very little of his game that is not good now. And what is just going to get better. You see the two-tone on his profile. He's got a ways to improve. He is going to be high in all the MVP votes going forward. He's just an incredible hitter. The White Sox fans love him, and why not? He's a 153 OPS hitter at home. Just a superstar from the 4th inning on. From the 4th inning through the rest of the game, he's got a 168 OPS. So if you're going to get him early, because he's going to get it back in the later innings. Who does he compare to? right now, and we said this during the DH portion of this, he compares very closely to Leonardo Broccoli. So the fact that they're on the same team, they really complement each other well, makes sense. At age 21, Rodriguez compared to Matthew Bellows. And at age 22, he compares to Danny Bradford, who's below him on this list. This is one of these guys that you just hope that he stays healthy, can play every day for the rest of his career, and see if he can go up there into the Mike Trout area, see how many hits. Can he be a 3,000 hit guy? Yes. Can he hit 500 home runs? I wouldn't be surprised. Could he steal, 50 bases a year? Probably. Basically, the future is his. It's going to be a lot of fun watching him. He is our number one left fielder, Julio Rodriguez of the Chicago White Sox. So how did we do? If you liked what you saw, by all means, like and subscribe. Put the comments down below or in the Discord what you think about our list. Who did we miss? Who's overrated? Should Trout have been number one? Follow us on Twitch. eMLB is live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Sundays, 10 o'clock in the morning with Coffee with the Commish. All times are Eastern. And not just here at the Backfields Media channel, but also at the official eMLB Universe YouTube, where you'll be seeing this video eventually. Come join us. Such a great league, such a great community. You'll have a great time. Until next time, when we're talking about first baseman, I'm Tim Lowry for Backfields Media. You have a great afternoon.